Hey there! This video is all about Vietnam's incredible history of standing up against foreign invaders. But instead of focusing on the war and military tactics, we're going to explore the beautiful landscape and friendly people of Vietnam. You see, the Vietnamese are known for their peaceful and cooperative nature, always striving for friendship and harmony. So, let's dive in and discover the amazing resilience of this small but mighty country. Throughout history, many powerful empires have conquered vast territories. But Vietnam has always stood strong against invaders, even against ancient China. In fact, Vietnam defeated the Mongol army not once, but 3 times. Despite being at the height of their imperial power, the Mongols were no match for the Vietnamese. They had to accept a bitter defeat and withdraw their troops. This weakened the Mongol army and had serious consequences for them later on. Another force that also followed in the footsteps of Mongolia in experiencing failure when invading Vietnam was the Ming and Qing dynasties of China. The Ming dynasty suffered defeat in a 10-year-long war with Vietnam and had to withdraw their troops, while the Qing dynasty had to retreat when they were attacked and almost completely annihilated by King Quang Trung as soon as they entered Vietnam. Moving into modern times, Vietnam holds a strategic position as a gateway and is adjacent to important international maritime routes, while also possessing abundant natural resources. Vietnam was invaded and colonized by France. However, in the end, France also had to suffer a bitter defeat at Dien Bien Phu and withdraw their troops. Following the failure of the French, it was the mighty United States, the world's leading power. The Americans fought against Vietnam for many years, using various strategies and tactics. Despite the support of Allied forces, they ultimately faced defeat and withdrew from Vietnam. The pinnacle of this was the failure of the B-52 bombing campaign in Vietnam. At that time, the number of B-52s shot down by Vietnam exceeded the Americans' endurance. If the fighting had continued, the remaining number of B-52s for the Americans would likely have been at an alarming level. This high-level air battle and defense marked the first time that B-52s were defeated, and the title of Invincible Flying Fortress was no longer applicable. Next, let me tell about some fascinating aspects of Vietnam's defensive strategies during the war. Vietnam had to face attacks from both the Khmer Rouge in the south and China in the north. However, they managed to repel these 2 attacks simultaneously, which was quite impressive. One of the things that made Vietnam's defense unique was their ability to adapt quickly and come up with unexpected tactics. They were always on their toes, ready to respond to any situation. They had a knack for turning ordinary and harmless objects into weapons that caught their enemies off guard. For instance, instead of relying on traditional methods, Vietnam trained swarms of wasps and strategically placed them in traps. So, when enemy troops accidentally stumbled upon these traps, they would be attacked by these fierce wasps. The American soldiers, in particular, faced a lot of trouble because their regular suits and guns were ineffective against the powerful stings of these wasps. Next up are some creepy crawlies like snakes, centipedes, and scorpions. They're sneaky little guys and are hidden in traps underground. When soldiers step on them, they get attacked by bites and venom. Yikes! On top of that, the terrain in Vietnam is pretty tough to navigate and the weather is hot and humid, which can cause a lot of sickness. Even the Americans with their strong medical force had a hard time supporting their troops in the forest. And even way back in history, the mighty Mongols couldn't handle the climate in Vietnam. So, what makes the Vietnamese people such amazing fighters? It's their patriotism, which they learn from a young age, and their courage, which has been passed down through generations. No matter how tough things get or how long the war lasts, the Vietnamese people never give up. They're always determined to protect their country and fight until the very end.
Vietnamese people are some of the friendliest, most hospitable, and compassionate people you'll ever meet. Even during times of war, Vietnam has shown incredible kindness and respect towards prisoners of war. They never mistreated American or French prisoners and even provided them with music, sports activities, and better food than their own soldiers. When Chinese troops withdrew during the war, Vietnam announced that they would let them leave without any further pursuit, unless they conducted raids on their way out. This kind of humanity is what makes Vietnam such a special place. After the wars, Vietnam became friends with former enemy countries, including the US, France, and China. It's amazing to see how Vietnam has turned former enemies into close friends.
Those countries also have a great deal of respect and admiration for the strong and mutually beneficial partnership they have with Vietnam. Now let's take a closer look at Vietnam's military force together. Despite not having a large area or defense budget, Vietnam is consistently ranked among the top 25 countries with the strongest military power in the world for many years. Impressive, isn't it? Vietnam's current weapons are sourced from two of the world's leading military powers, Russia and Israel. They have a formidable fleet of Sukhoi fighters and the most powerful submarine fleet in Southeast Asia. It's quite remarkable. To further enhance their defense capabilities, Vietnam has also acquired S-300 air defense systems from Russia and Spider systems from Israel. These systems are crucial for protecting their airspace. Additionally, Vietnam possesses the K-300P Bastion coastal defense missile system equipped with Yakout hypersonic missiles. These missiles can travel at 3 times the speed of sound and have a range of over 200 kilometers. That's truly impressive. Vietnam's military force is a force to be reckoned with, and it's amazing to see how they have managed to achieve such strength and capability despite their size and budget. So to summarize, I want to share with you a fascinating fact about the resilient Vietnamese people throughout history. Despite being invaded multiple times by some of the most powerful countries in the world, Vietnam has always fought back with unwavering determination and ultimately achieved victory. This incredible feat can be attributed to their patriotism, courage, and their ability to think and adapt on the battlefield. But you know what's even more remarkable? The spirit of humanity and compassion that the Vietnamese people possess. They always strive to establish peaceful and friendly relationships with all countries, even those that once invaded them. It's truly inspiring. In today's world, Vietnam continues to maintain a neutral stance, abiding by international law, and actively engaging in integration and exchanges with countries from all corners of the globe. Their efforts contribute significantly to creating a peaceful and friendly environment for everyone. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video and the friendly Vietnamese people who are always working towards building a peaceful country and fostering a harmonious international environment. Let's have a discussion and share our opinions. Wishing you good health and happiness.